Walk into any martial arts school and you see colored belts. Ask what a green belt certifies the holder can do and you get vague answers. At Modern Combat Martial Arts, or MCMA, we treat belts as verifiable certifications, not participation trophies. The traditional belt system operates on a symbolic model. Colors represent growth: white for purity, brown for maturity, black for mastery. Advancement ties to timing grade, class attendance, and memorizing forms. Your instructor decides your readiness based on attitude and effort. This means a blue belt at one school can represent a completely different skill set than a blue belt at another, even within the same style. The belt becomes a badge of participation within a specific club's culture. It is like a grade level in school. A 10th grader moves to 11th grade after a year, having been exposed to the material. The focus is on process and time spent, not on what you can actually do. That ambiguity is the problem we solve. We reject that ambiguity. At MCMA, each belt functions as a competency-based certification, like a commercial driver's license. You don't get a CDL because you spent a certain number of hours in a simulator. You get it because you pass a standardized practical test proving you can safely operate a 40-ton vehicle. The same principle applies here. Each belt corresponds to a non-negotiable, publicly defined skill output. There is no mystery. You know exactly what you need to demonstrate. Promotion depends on proving you own the skill, not on how many months you have trained. Time is irrelevant. Skill ownership is everything. This model eliminates favoritism and subjective gatekeeping. Both you and your instructor answer to an objective standard. Let me give you a concrete example. White belt at MCMA certifies you in the spatial placement of 22 guarding positions. You must assume these precise positions with mechanical isolation, soft tension, and slow velocity. That means you can place your hands, arms, and body in specific coordinates relative to your center line and your opponent's potential attacks. You do this without tension in the wrong muscles, without speed masking sloppy form. The test is simple. Demonstrate each guard from memory, hold it for inspection, and move between them without breaking structure. You either can do this or you cannot. There is no partial credit for effort. When you pass, you hold a credential that means something specific. You know exactly what you own. Orange belt moves you into solo full-body integration of 3 core fighting skills: guarding, striking, and blocking. You must fluidly synthesize these mechanics in solo patterns. This means you transition from a guard into a strike, then into a block, then back to guard without breaking rhythm or structure. Your feet, hips, and shoulders work together as one unit. You do this at moderate speed with control, not flailing. The benchmark requires you to execute these patterns from memory against imaginary targets, maintaining mechanical precision throughout. You cannot compensate with speed or power. The test evaluates your ability to integrate skills, not your ability to memorize sequences. When you pass, you certify that your body can combine these fundamentals under your own command. Black belt with a white stripe certifies ISD proficiency, applied mechanics under random combative conditions. You must successfully apply all 6 core skills against a resisting opponent in unpredictable scenarios. This is not a choreographed demonstration. Your partner attacks with variable timing, angles, and intensity. You must respond with correct mechanical responses without thinking. The test evaluates your ability to maintain structure, deliver force, and recover position under stress. You cannot rely on patterns or pre-planned sequences. You must adapt in real time. This certification proves you own the skills to a level where they function under pressure. It is the equivalent of a bachelor's degree in the system's mechanics. Further study represents postgraduate specialization. This model solves pervasive issues in martial arts training. First, it eliminates ambiguity. You never wonder what you are working toward because the goal is concrete and defined. Second, it ensures accountability. Both you and your instructor answer to the same standard, removing favoritism and subjective gatekeeping. Third, it demystifies mastery. The path becomes transparent and structured, accessible to anyone willing to put in disciplined work. Finally, it provides modern relevance. For adults, professionals, and critical thinkers, this approach resonates deeply. It aligns with a worldview that values clear goals, measurable outcomes, and credentials that signify specific, applicable competence. You train for results you can verify, not for symbols you wear. Your belt should certify what you can do, not how long you have trained. Train for skills you own, not symbols you wear. That is the MCMA standard.